Hi guys, I'm back. I'm here to film another video for BookMas. You guys are seeing this on December 26th, so I hope you guys had a very nice holiday and you guys got some fun bookish gifts to tide you over until the new year. The topic I'm going to talk about today is my top 5 surprising reads of 2019. I try my hardest to go into books with no expectations. Sometimes I'm a little bit more successful, sometimes I'm not. But here are 5 books that really did surprise me, and I was not expecting to like them as much as I did, but I definitely did, and they definitely made a rather big impression on me this reading year. The first book that I'm going to chat about is The Fillin Boyfriend by Casey West. I've spent the year reading all of Casey West's backlist titles. I'm only missing one, which is Split Second, but I've read all her contemporary novels from when she started. And this book was really surprising. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but boy, did I like it. It basically follows this girl named Gia, and her boyfriend winds up breaking up with her the day of prom, and she winds up asking this guy she meets in the parking lot to go to prom with her as her fake date. And it just starts this hilarious story, and I really enjoyed it. I read it in like 2 week, like a week on my commute to and from work, and it was just such a fun read. I really liked it. I like the characters. It's definitely up there for one of my favorite Casey West novels. Right behind or right in front of Love Life in the list. I really found up really liking this. I read a lot of her books this year, and this one definitely stands up for being one of my favorite reads of the year. So, I mean, one of my favorite contemporary reads of the year because it just was such a fun read, and I really can't wait to see more books by her in the future. I know she has one coming out in February that I'm really excited for. But this was one book that took me by surprise, for sure. The next book that I'm going to chat about is The Lying Woods by Ashley Elston. You're going to hear about this book a lot in the next upcoming videos, so just prepare yourself. I never read books with a male main character, and that's what originally attracted me towards this book. But it basically follows this guy named Owen, and he is dealing with the aftermath of his father, who basically defrauded the whole town, and he's dealing with a lot of elements. But then you're also getting another timeline of someone connected to Owen, and you're kind of seeing their two summers. And it was really surprising. I really liked this book. I did not see the end coming, and it had like a This Is Us vibe, which I really liked. And I love This Is Us. I'm so far behind on the new season. Don't even get me started on that. But I really wound up liking this book. This was the first Ashley Elston book that I read, and I was told that this book was more of a contemporary with elements of a mystery, and I know her other books are more like mystery based. But definitely motivated me to pick up 10 Blind Dates later in the year. And that was her Christmas theme reading. But this book just was so fun. I loved it. I loved that it had a male main character. And it was just such an enjoyable read. And I definitely motivated me to pick up more books by her in the future, which I'm definitely going to do in the future. And I did do this year as well. The next book that I'm going to chat about is Always Never Yours by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigma Broca. This was a read that I picked up right after my theater show closed, and it's basically a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and it has like theater elements in it as well. I really love the romance in this. I really love the setting. I love the characters, and it was just such a fun read. Like, I remember reading it and being like, oh my goodness, this is like everything I wanted in life. And after spending 6 months putting up a production, it was nice to read a show that I like had no control over. But I just found it to be so fun. And then later in that summer, I wound up picking up If I'm Being Honest, and I really loved that book. And it was just such a refreshing read. I really have been gravitating more towards contemporary books during the school year, which is something that I don't always do, but I've been gravitating towards them a little bit more because they're just easier to read and a little bit more easier to focus on. But I just found it to be such a fun read, and I was one that surprised me. Like, I wound up buying it and picking it up, but overall, it just was another book that really impressed me, and I'm definitely going to read more by this author duo in the future. And I have been talking about them in a lot of my videos, but they're definitely a writing pair that stood out to me, and I really do like them. So the next book I'm going to chat about really did surprise me, and that is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I did get Legendary in my Alacre box about 2 years ago, and I liked it. I thought it was fun, and it was a fun read. It didn't blow me away, but I read it. And I wound up picking up Legendary at a discount bookstore, and I just wound up reading it on a car ride. I went down to Virginia with my cousin this summer, and this book blew my mind. I loved it so much more than Caraval, and it just was so good. I actually have finale on my TBR for December. I doubt I'm gonna get to it, but it was enough that like I added it to my TBR because I was so intrigued. I haven't heard anything about how finale ends, but it's definitely one that has piqued my interest. But yeah, so those are all the books that kind of caught me off guard and just became unexpected faves. Some of them did wind up making my top 10 reads of the year, and you'll see that in the next couple upcoming days. But I did notice that this year I did gravitate more towards reading more contemporary novels and more thriller novels just because they're more fast-paced books to get through. And as a theater teacher, I like to read stuff that's quick paced, especially during the work week, because I feel like I'm accomplishing more. So those tended to be the more surprising genres that I picked up. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on what my are on my most surprising reads that I read in 2019. Let me know what were some of your surprising reads in the comments, and we can have a little bit of a conversation. And I will talk to you tomorrow for day 6 of Vlogmas. I think that that's right. But yeah, talk to you later, guys. Bye.